Welcome to the Colerain High School's annual academic recognition ceremony. This recognition ceremony is a sacred tradition here at Colerain, one that as a staff member is an honor and a privilege to be a part of. My name is Kelsey Frederick, and I'm a teacher here at Colerain High School. We are here this morning to celebrate the dedication and academic excellence of the Summa Cum Laude graduates of the class of 2024, as well as to highlight their impact on Colerain High School. The qualifications to become a Summa Cum Laude at Colerain require that a student earn a 4.50 or higher cumulative weighted GPA and no quarter grade lower than a C. They have merited numerous accolades and collectively have been offered thousands of dollars in scholarship opportunities, many of which were awarded and celebrated earlier this week at our Senior Awards Night. While today is about celebrating these seniors, they all know that they could not have accomplished all that they have without the love and support of their family, friends, and some key adults in their lives. It is my honor to thank those individuals on behalf of the seniors on stage. In addition to the family members and staff that are here today, there are also about 20 Colerain students that are sitting to my left, who this year SUMA is invited to specifically recognize and thank for their support in achieving their academic success. This is what has always made Colerain so very special. We are a beautifully diverse community, but one that supports each other, not only through all of the struggles and the setbacks, but also by celebrating the achievements and accomplishments of our peers. These invited peers are the students who conducted the science experiments and dissections alongside our SUMAs, played on the field, won and lost together, performed together on this stage, adventured on trips, and leaned on each other during group projects while simultaneously preparing for numerous AP exams. Our SUMAs and their peers fully appreciate that collectively we rise and succeed together, and that very few things in life are ever fully accomplished independently, if any. Each of our students have cultivated a community of support that is so distinctively characteristic of a Colerain graduate, and all of you in the audience have had a meaningful part of the success of these students. It should be noted that our students on stage are very grateful and honest about your impact. So thank you for always pushing them, always setting a higher standard for them to achieve, and for always being there even when things may have seemed impossible. And now for our SUMAs. 100 years ago, the first Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade was held in New York City. France hosted the Summer Olympics as well as the first ever Winter Olympic Games. Dum Dum lollipops and popsicles were created, and Band-Aids appeared in stores for the first time. Calvin Coolidge became the first president of the United States to ever deliver a radio broadcast from the White House. Notebooks with spiral boundings were invented, and our beloved Colerain High School opened its doors. We began educating our community members 100 years ago, albeit the institution of education was far different than what we know it today. I am certain that President Coolidge would not have known what a Chromebook was or how to use Google Classroom or even what the internet was. However, despite these vast differences, excellence is relative. The meaning of excellence is for the quality of something to be outstanding, and excellence has a lasting impact on society and our community. SUMAs, your commitment and achievement, your character, your excellence is outstanding. And your efforts have been adding to our school's legacy over the past 4 years that you each have graced our hallways and classrooms. You have contributed to our school's past 100 years of education through excellence. We are not just here because these students had all the right answers on their tests, which apparently they did, but more because of the individuals they are and the impact that they've had on our community. And these 5 students are so committed and involved that their legacy will be felt by so many groups and activities that they are each a part of. Our SUMAs heard that call to challenge the first day of their freshman year, as their administrators, counselors, deans, and peers were echoing how involvement is the key to success and enjoyment while navigating their high school journeys here at Colerain. And they rose to that challenge with unprecedented commitment and staggering integrity. And that is outstanding, as it is excellence. Beyond the athletic teams, we offer over 20 student-led organizations at Colerain, which provide an opportunity for students of all backgrounds, interests, and capabilities to belong to a group. These 5 students are active participants collectively in more than half of these groups. though I don't believe active participation does these students justice. We have a National Honor Society president as well as various class officers, PAC members, athletes, orchestra members, and the list goes on and on. They don't just belong, they lead. And that is outstanding, as it is excellence. These 5 students are involved, creative, talented, committed, and kind. They truly make teaching a joy instead of a job, and interacting with them reminds us every day of why we love teaching. They also give us so much hope for the future because they always see their commitments through. Summas, without your dedication and commitment to high standards, collaboration, self-motivation, passion, and perseverance, we would not be what we are. We would not be Colerain. We have had the privilege of working with all of these students on stage, both in and outside of the classroom. And this particular group of students are not just academically focused, but are extremely well-rounded, insightful, courageous, and caring people, some of the kindest students I've ever met in my career. They have raised the bar for what it means to be engaged in their school community and education. They have added so much value and integrity to the legacy that our school has been cultivating for the past 100 years. And that is outstanding, as it is excellence. Now more than ever, our communities and industries need dedication. Individuals like yourselves to strengthen and maybe even redefine paths which you are each capable of challenging and seeing through. Additionally, I believe wholeheartedly that this is just a short stop on their journey to success because this group knows what it takes to do a project correctly. They know what it takes to collaborate with their peers and community members, and they appreciate those that came before them and are leaving Colerain in our community better than they found it. Summas, continue to be outstanding in these next chapters of your lives. Attack each obstacle as you have thus far, and know that your commitment and passion for learning will carry you through to your current and future goals. Be excellent. So students, thank you. Thank you for your strong example. Thank you for the laughter and the challenge of teaching you more and in better ways. Thank you for filling our campus with excellence and admirable character, for always naturally leading by example. And thank you for the gifts you have given the community of Colerain and the student body through your involvement and dedication. You may not ever know the extent of the impact you leave on people or situations, but I know that each of you have the ability to continue to contribute, challenge, commit to, and change our society for the better, even setting the standard for the next 100 years. Parents, thank you for sharing your kids. Thank you for raising them to be the outstanding people they are. Thank you for all of the time, support, and guidance you have blessed them with. You have truly incredible kids. In addition to the 6 honorees on stage, we also have very important community and district members here with us this morning that I would like to recognize. Colerain administrators, Principal Aaron Davis, and Assistant Principal of the class of 2024, Sean Ryan. Northwest Local School District Board members, including our President, Nicole Talby, and Mark Gilbert. Northwest Local School District administrators, including our Director of Curriculum, Brenda Miller. And also, we have to say thank you to your class sponsor, Susie Roble. Thank you each for being an active part of our community and for your support as we celebrate the academic achievements of our students. Now I'd like to introduce a small group of staff members to each address our 2024 Summas. First, Ms. Erin Davis, Principal of Colerain High School.
Good morning. Well, that is hard to follow because I think that sums up quite a bit of some of the accomplishments that you have had over the last 4 years and the excitement of where you are going. I also think that a lot of what Ms. Frederick said about the last 100 years has carried on, and now it was your turn to make history here at Colerain, which you have done. So I appreciate all that you have done over the last 4 years. I hope that your memories carry with you for the rest of your life. Please know that you are always, always, always welcome back here at Colerain High School, and I hope you come back to share your success with your classmates that are still here, and then give everyone a great example to follow, because clearly you've done that the last 4 years. You all 4 are leaders in your own way, and that shows. So I'd like to thank the parents, friends, family, everyone in the audience for your support. We know that this cannot be done alone. Some of those late nights poking to get homework done, one last push across the finish line, everything all adds up to a great success, but it is also your time to celebrate and shine. So thank you very much. I wish you nothing but the very best, and I hope to see you around. Today is a day to celebrate, but I also hope that you continue to celebrate because you have accomplished a lot. Thank you.
Next, a teacher at Colerain High School who has spent 27 years inspiring students in history. A few words for the group from Mr. John Dowling.
Bit of a swan song for me, I guess, as you well know. Good morning. I'm both honored and humbled to be here to speak for the 2024 Summas. I'm honored because Mrs. Frederick has informed me they actually voted for me. I have spoken at this ceremony a couple times before, but I think that was just because my name turned up in the rotation of AP teachers and I was obligated, but I am flattered that this group has actually chosen me and that we get to go out together this year. I am humbled because when I speak for the Summa ceremony, what I'm reminded of is my own lackluster, mediocre high school career. A strong contrast to theirs, okay? The downside of choosing a history teacher to your presentation, you're going to get a history lecture, inevitably. And so that's what I'm going to deliver today. I promise it won't be Gilded Age politics, no stalwarts, mugwumps, civil service reform. Hopefully it'll be a little better than that. But I'm also, as an A-push teacher, obligated to give you a little contextualization and maybe even a thesis. So we'll see if that works, okay? So I'll start by stealing a line from a famous movie series that started when I was in high school, a long time ago, in a galaxy far away. I started high school. It was the 1970s. It was a time of Jerry Ford, Jimmy Carter, stagflation, gas shortages, the end of the me decade. A very different time than today. I went to a run-of-the-mill high school in suburban Washington, D.C., Richard Montgomery High School, RM for those in the know. It was a school that was looked down upon by the other schools in the county. I would run into students later in my educational career, and they were shocked that I had managed to get through college, having gone to RM, but I did. Our sports teams were mediocre as well. I contributed to that on a couple of those, so we were not a school of notoriety in that area as well. Our academic program included one single solitary AP class, AP Literature, which I'll reference later. Our vocational programs at best were scattered and few. I don't have much memory of them. I think we had auto shop and cosmetology, maybe. The best students in my school often went to the local junior college to take classes, advanced classes, which my school did not offer in their senior year. In some ways, I think it was a typical 1970s high school. We had open campus at lunch, so people just sort of scattered and they hoped that students came back. We had a section of the school called the Breezeway where students could go and smoke. Very different era in the 1970s, very typical in some ways. Now, despite my status as a student, I did sometimes have classes with the Summas of my world, okay, most obviously in calculus class my senior year. Some of these were friends of mine who went on to go to very fancy places. Jeff Ream, a guy I played street hockey with, went to Duke, later medical school. My good friend Mike O'Sullivan, one of my basketball crew, he went on to Notre Dame. Even one of my classmates who had gone to school with since third grade, Rachel Jellin, even went to Harvard. Those were the Summas of my world. Students were driven in high school to lay a foundational success for their later success at America's elite colleges. And then there was me. I was not going to a fancy college. I purposely avoided the AP class. I was invited, but then I heard that Mrs. DePel's class, the rumor was you had to write really long papers analyzing Shakespeare, Dickens, or some other dead English guy, and that was not for me for my senior year. Okay. I did drop the aforementioned calculus class when basketball season rolled around because I didn't want to do calculus homework anymore. I was essentially on the path of least resistance when I was in high school. Okay. Matter of fact, my favorite class in high school, I don't think I ever mentioned this, was actually gym. And I took gym all 4 years, and that was like gym 1, where we just played basketball, which is what I liked doing in high school, for 4 years. And they allowed you to do that in the 70s. It wasn't a very serious academic time period. Okay. One last little story about my mediocre high school careers. As we're nearing graduation in 1978, my English teacher approached me one day in class. I'm sure she was handing back one of my never-ending half-hearted papers. Her name was Mrs. Barrett. She was a very good English teacher, and I was not much of an English student. Okay. Didn't matter if it was Puritan poetry or the Iliad or even the Great Gatsby, which I actually liked. I just wasn't too into English class. And so she leans down next to me, hands back this paper, and says something that was really perceptive. She goes, "John, I've seen your test scores. You should be doing better." And that's my high school career in a nutshell. I should have been doing better. I should have congratulated on her perceptiveness, but I wasn't that quick in high school, so that just moved me forward. I won't bore you with the next 19 years of my scholastic and occupational careers, but through my multiple degrees, I never got close to earning Summa status. Flash forward 19 years to 1997, and a bit of irony, I ended up back in high school as a teacher at Colerain High School. I also end up assigned to an AP class, very unusual for a first-year teacher, a gig that I've now had for 27 years. As a consequence, I see and have seen all the Summas. Obviously, essentially, it is a part of the obligatory gauntlet you have to go through to achieve Summa status. Now, this was so long ago, the last millennium, in fact, but in a galaxy we know, Colerain High School, which of course hasn't changed, physically at least, and I started encountering Summas again. Now, when you're a teacher, you have an entirely different perspective. These are the kind of students you want to have in your classroom. The students who pay attention. The students who turn every assignment in on time. The students who study because they see high school as a foundation for future success. I remember these early Summas in my career. Omar Shafi, who went to University of California, Berkeley. Chris Nolke, who went to UNC Chapel Hill and then on to Stanford for his MBA. Michelle Kiefer, who went to Washington University in St. Louis and then went on to Yale Law School. The top kids at Colerain were like the top kids in my high school 2 years before. They went to the top schools in America. In fact, Colerain was a very similar place to my high school, big suburban high school. But the academic program, in my opinion, wasn't that elite in 1997. We had 3 AP classes. You didn't face AP until you ran into A-Push as a junior. Then you had AP Lit and Calc. Those are about the only 2 choices. Those were senior classes. We had no CCP classes. We had a handful of Career Center programs long before Butler Tech. The elite students did not take those classes. There was no college accreditation. There was no associate's degree that was earnable in there. So as a consequence, if you wanted to be at the top of the class, you took just the standard high school curriculum. The exception, of course, where Colerain stood out, as we all know, was the football program. Okay. Now, my old high school today is a very different place than when I went there. Matter of fact, it's literally, and I'll argue figuratively, a different place. They tore down my high school. And built a new one on the baseball field. Sounds a little familiar, if you've been paying any attention to our future plans. But the other thing they did at my high school is they made it a magnet program in Montgomery County, Maryland for the International Baccalaureate program. And so a lot of the top students from the whole county go there now. As a matter of fact, it's one of the best IB programs arguably in the nation. The school produces now 40 National Merit Scholars a year. We had one when I graduated. And my friends, when I go back and see them at home, they joke, now when you tell someone you graduated from RM, they actually look at you like, oh, you did something special. I did not. It was not a special place when I was there. Now to finish up, I want to say, contrary to popular belief, I would like to argue this school is also a much better, academic institution than it was in 1997, okay? Yes, we don't have an internationally recognized IB program. Yes, we're not producing 40 national merit a year. But I think this place has become a much better place over my 27-year career. And consequently, I think the current Summers have accomplished more than the Summers at my high school and the Summers when I started here in 97, 98. In 97, Colerain had 3 AP classes, I mentioned earlier. We didn't have anything like today's CCP. The Butler Tech programs are outstanding, and you can get an associate's degree there. It's a very different place. I believe today's Summas have accomplished a lot more than the 20th century Summas. They started an AP class when I was a freshman. We've added so many AP classes over the years that there are now a large array that they are in some ways required to take at least quite a few of them. We offer a myriad of college credit opportunities we did not have in 1997. So in my opinion, today's Summas have to do a lot more academically than did their predecessors. So I stand by my thesis. This school has become a much better academic institution than it was 27 years ago. I believe these Summas have accomplished a lot more. And I still stand here humbled in front of their accomplishments. And they still make me a bit ashamed of my high school. Me. And so I'm glad to be riding to the sunset with the class of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dowling. For the remainder of our program this morning, we will be taking the time to highlight the accomplishments and background of each of our students who have achieved Summa Cum Laude by reading a short biography of each student, and then we will conclude with a video. Summas, as I read your bio, please stand to be recognized. First up, Brady Bigner. While at Colerain, Brady has played football and has participated in National Honor Society, class officers in your book. His favorite memories consist of in-season football team meals and having hysterical conversations with his friends during study hall. Brady has been a student of Colerain every year since kindergarten, including Colerain L, Colerain Middle, and now high school. He has played lacrosse for 8 years, and he is the youngest of 5. His sister and triplet brothers are also graduates of Colerain. Brady's favorite class was Honors Anatomy with Mr. Hogan, and his advice to underclassmen is to focus on having fun before anything else. You only get one high school experience, so you should make it a memorable one by creating the stories you will be able to look back on and share with people in the future. Brady is planning on attending the University of Cincinnati to major in marketing. He would like to thank his mom for inspiring and supporting his academic accomplishments. He would not be who he is today without her guidance. Brady Bigner. Next, Elia Leese. Elia is a member of Colerain's National Honor Society, and her favorite high school memory comes from this year. On the first day it snowed, her teacher let the whole class go outside to enjoy the snow. She has done gymnastics for 12 years, likes to knit and crochet, and loves soccer, especially FC Cincinnati. Elia's favorite class at Colerain was AP Physics, and her advice to underclassmen is that it's always important to keep going, especially even if something is scary, because stopping simply because you are afraid never gets you anywhere. Elia is planning to attend Purdue University Honors College to major in genetics. She would like to thank her mother for pushing her to achieve as much as she has thus far. Elia Leese. Next, Lydia Manus. Over the course of her 4 years at Colerain, Lydia has been a member of Colerain's varsity cross-country and track teams, a class officer, and served as both parliamentarian and president of our chapter of National Honor Society. She is a member of Colerain's chamber choir, OMEA State Choir, Alto 1, academic quiz team, robotics rock team, and Colerain Young Life group. She has also been advocating for her peers by participating in the district superintendent advisory committee, as well as our buildings, principals, and athletic advisory committees, to ensure the best high school experience possible for even those that come after her. Something she loves about Colerain and will never forget are the incredible sunrises at the 7 a.m. cross-country practices, as well as the sunsets over the football field during a game and hearing the Colerain fight song being played in the background. Lydia ran her first 5K in the 2nd grade. She would rather run 4 miles than make a phone call, and likes to drink milk with dinner. Her favorite class at Colerain was AP Calculus, and her advice to underclassmen is to remember that things are worth something. Things that are worth something, cost something. At Colerain, there are so many meaningful opportunities, so choose something that you love to invest in to make this the best experience possible. Lydia plans to attend the University of Cincinnati to major in chemical engineering and would like to thank her mother, Dina, for supporting her to achieve her academic successes thus far. Lydia Manus. Next, Claire Stamper. Claire plays soccer and is a member of the National Honor Society, Chamber Choir, Hope Squad, and is a class officer. Her favorite memories of high school consist of the group of friends and bonds that she has formed with those who are also serving as class officers. The senior class officers have become so close and always have an amazing time planning and bringing spirit to Colerain. Claire has an ability to care for others dearly, a work ethic that supports her goals in life, and appreciates how she can have fun while still feeling proud of the person she has become. Her favorite class was AP Psychology, and her advice to underclassmen is to appreciate that while high school is the time of our lives in this season, in the grand scheme of the rest of our lives, it is crucial to remember we aren't defined or held to what we are now or during high school, that it's okay to make mistakes, and to not let others' expectations defer you from what you want to become in the future. Claire plans to attend the University of Cincinnati to major in psychology and would like to thank her mother for encouraging and pushing her to always be the best person that she can be. Claire Stamper. Last but not least, Alexandra Zamora Gertis. Alexandra is a member of our National Honor Society, orchestra, Spanish club, robotics, and was a member of the Pitt Orchestra group who performed for this year's musical, Chicago. Her favorite high school memory was from her freshman year, when she would arrive early every day in the morning for orchestra and then go on a Zoom call and do school remotely. Even though it was a strange year and learning experience, it is very memorable to her to have continued to learn and perform despite the pandemic. Alexandra is bilingual, the concert master violinist in our chamber orchestra, and is self-studying multiple other languages. Her favorite class at Colerain was her anatomy class, and her advice to underclassmen is to make sure to take some time for yourself if you ever feel stressed out, but to balance that by not putting things off until the last minute. Time management is an important skill that we practice and are challenged with in high school so we can be productive and reliable adults. Alexandra plans to attend the University of Cincinnati to major in business marketing and would like to thank her mother in supporting her academic endeavors. Alexandra Zamora-Gertis. Will all of our 5 Summas please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, Colerain's 2024 Summa Cum Laude class. You guys can see. Thanks. Every year, we end our ceremony with a video tribute to our Summas. This year's video was made by one of our own, a fellow senior of this graduating class of 2024, Lily Diebold. On behalf of the Summas, their families, and our staff, thank you so much, Lily, for taking the time to make the video for this year's ceremony. After the video concludes, please feel free to take pictures and then exit the auditorium. Summas, if you would like to come down and sit in the first row to watch the video, that would be great.
Congratulations, very so much on getting this Summa. I should see you very important for high school and you all college. Congratulations on getting Summa Cum Laude, Elena. I'm so proud of you. Since I met you in third grade, I knew you were going to do amazing things. You were so passionate, hardworking at everything that you do, and I just know you're going to do amazing things at Purdue and beyond. Congratulations, girl. I just want to say that I'm so proud of you and all of your hard work, and I couldn't be more excited for you and your learning at UC next year. Not only have you managed to accomplish academic